why it was so important that documents be made available. And the first opportunity I had to appear to testify at the Finance Committee, I was there. And I had said that we should make all documents, the agreement included, available. And when the clerk of the Privy Council appeared, he reiterated the importance of having that information available. For myself, the goal was always to get as much information out as possible. What's clear with the contribution agreement being in the public forum, and we've always said it would be proactively disclosed, is being able to see that there are many checks and balances within place, and the parameters that go with cohort 1, the supplemental cohort, as well as cohort 2.
Yes, there are parameters to that. And the checks that I thought particularly stood out to me was that the organization had to sign up for saying within 6 years, if this is going to be, like, we have the right to audit it. So after the fact, there were certainly checks on how the money was spent. But up front, I still go back to my original question. Why did they need all of that money so soon when we didn't have an idea, for example, of where the students would be matched, to what degree, how many hours, all that stuff? Why did they need all the money up front?
So basically, there was money for cohort 1, and then depending on how that went, cohort 2, in between was a supplemental cohort. And it's to ensure that the resources are there, including resources for not-for-profits that were creating these placements for youth to volunteer, as well as having the means to make sure that they were accessible, so that as many young people, as many students could participate as possible. And that's where, even if you look at the details within the agreement, of making sure that we were receiving data and information on a regular basis, so that we could continue to monitor and reevaluate to ensure that the purpose of the program was being served at every opportunity.
The reason I ask is because, and the reason it jumped out at me was because your government has made the point frequently over the past number of weeks that we was the only organization who could, and that was the information you got from the public service, the only organization that was capable of administering this program. But if they were so capable, why did they need all this money up front? And why did they even need $43.5 million if they truly could, on their own, administer all of this?
So I think based on the information that's being provided, it demonstrates that the public service did consider many different organizations. And it's important to note that this is an innovative program, one of which has not ever been used by the government of Canada. But it is important to acknowledge that people are rolling up their sleeves from coast to coast to coast. And also what's important to note, and that's been reiterated by numerous individuals, is the degree of the program, the extent of the program within the timeline, the very tight timeline needed.
I still don't understand why they needed all the money so soon, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, why, if they are so capable, more capable than anyone else your government talked to, and you're right, there's a list here that's provided that shows other organizations were consulted or at least talked to about the possibility or their potential to administer it. If they truly are, if it's only we that could do this, why did they need all that money?
So I'll just peel that back. I think what's important to note that it's not just about financial resources. It was also about reach. It was also about ease of use of technology. And that's why even within the first cohort, the $19.5 million that would have gone to We Charity, the We organization, it's important to note that $5 million of that 19.5 was directly for not-for-profits, so that they could not only create opportunities and placements, but also make sure that they had the technology needed to help deliver the program. So there's many different elements that were be considered at any given time, and that's why I really do commend the work of the public service, working at the pace that we have been working since the pandemic hit to ensure that we had programs and resources available to Canadians during this very challenging and unprecedented time. Actually, I'm back in my riding, and I'll tell you, I've been reading a lot of emails, having a lot of conversations, and we're not out of the woods yet. And it's important that we not become complacent, that the realities of the COVID-19 pandemic continue to be real. And to ensure the health and safety of Canadians, we really do need to remain focused on delivering for Canadians, working with all levels of government, and ensuring that the resources and programs are available.